Triple H mourns the passing of Becky Lynch in a tragic car accident. Good day, WWE Extreme family. Imagine turning on your screen, expecting fireworks, entrance music, and trash talk, only to feel the air get sucked out of the arena before the first bell even rings. The lights are dim. The crowd is unusually quiet. And then Triple H steps out, not in his usual boss mode swagger, but carrying the weight of the entire wrestling world on his shoulders. No music, no theatrics, just silence. Because this is not another storyline twist meant to shock you for clicks. This is the kind of moment that stops time in WWE, the kind that reminds everyone that behind the entrances, behind the championships, behind the man persona, there are real people, real legacies, and real emotions. Before we go any further, do me a quick favor. If you love deep wrestling stories, emotional breakdowns, and high-energy WWE coverage that never pulls punches, hit that subscribe button and click the notifications bell icon so you never miss what is coming next. Trust me, WWE Extreme is just getting started. Now, let us talk about why this moment hits like a steel chair to the heart. Becky Lynch was not just another superstar on a roster. She was a movement. She was rebellion wrapped in leather jackets and unshakable confidence. She was proof that grit could punch destiny in the face and make it blink first. So when the WWE Universe is told that Becky Lynch has tragically passed away following a car accident, the shock is not loud. It is numbing. It is the kind of silence where even the loudest fans do not know how to chant. And Triple H, the man now tasked with guiding WWE forward, becomes the voice for millions who do not know what to say. Here is where the gravity really sets in. Triple H does not speak like an executive reading a script. He speaks like someone who watched Becky evolve from a hungry outsider into the beating heart of an entire generation. His words do not rush. They do not need punchlines. Every sentence lands heavy because this is not about ratings or angles. It is about loss. He reminds everyone that Becky Lynch redefined what it meant to be a top star, not by waiting for permission, but by taking the spotlight and daring anyone to take it from her. And that right there is the first emotional pivot of the night. Because as Triple H speaks, the audience does not just remember Becky the wrestler. They remember Becky the moment maker. The bloody face that launched a cultural shift. The promos that felt less like rehearsed lines and more like declarations of war. The way she stood toe-to-toe with anyone, regardless of size, gender, or legacy, and made you believe she belonged. This is not nostalgia. It is acknowledgement. Then comes the transition that hits even harder. Triple H starts talking about impact. Not titles. Not wins. Impact. He talks about how Becky Lynch changed locker rooms. How she inspired talent who never thought the system would look their way. Suddenly, this is not just about WWE television. It is about what happens when one performer becomes a mirror for everyone who has ever been told they were not enough. That is why this loss feels global. That is why social media is not just reacting, it is grieving. And here's where the story shifts gears again, because WWE is never just about the past. Triple H makes it clear that Becky Lynch's legacy will not be frozen in highlight reels. It will live on in the way WWE moves forward. In the way women are presented not as side attractions, but as main event forces. In the way voices are allowed to be raw, real, and unapologetic. You can almost feel the subtext. This is a promise, not a platitude. The camera cuts to the crowd, and you see it. Fans holding signs that say, "Thank you, Becky." Some are crying. Some are standing silently. No chants. No boos. Just respect. It is rare in WWE, a place built on noise, to see silence used as the loudest tribute possible. And that silence says everything words cannot. Then the show does something smart. It does not rush into pyro or distractions. It lets the moment breathe. A video package plays, not overproduced, not dramatic for the sake of drama, but honest. Clips of Becky laughing backstage, training, cutting promos that shook the building, winning championships, losing and coming back stronger. It feels less like a farewell montage and more like a reminder of why she mattered. Now here comes another emotional turn, because Triple H is not the only one mourning. Commentary struggles to keep composure. Superstars at ringside look shaken. Rivals, allies, people Becky once clashed with now united in respect. This is the rare moment when kayfabe steps aside and humanity takes center stage. And WWE, for all its spectacle, understands when to let that happen. What makes this even more powerful is how Triple H frames Becky's story. He does not call her perfect. He calls her relentless. He talks about the setbacks, the doubts, the times she had to fight uphill battles in a system that was not always ready for someone like her. That honesty turns this tribute into something more than sadness. It becomes inspiration. Because if Becky Lynch's journey taught us anything, it is that greatness is built through resistance. And then comes the line that changes the tone entirely. Triple H says Becky Lynch did not just make history, she changed the future. That sentence hangs in the air like a challenge. Because now the question is not how WWE mourns Becky Lynch. It is how WWE honors her. That is where the transitions start feeling purposeful. The show subtly shifts into competition, but with a different energy. Matches feel more intense. Promos feel more heartfelt. It is as if everyone understands they are not just performing. They are carrying something forward. Becky Lynch becomes the standard, the invisible measuring stick every performer now chases. You could draw a clear analogy here. Becky Lynch was the spark that turned a controlled flame into a wildfire. WWE can never put that fire back in the box, even if it wanted to. And Triple H knows it. That is why his message is not about closure. It is about continuation. As the night goes on, it becomes clear this is not about exploiting tragedy. It is about channeling it. WWE leans into what Becky represented: authenticity, courage, and refusal to be boxed in. You see it in the way matches are laid out. You hear it in the crowd reactions. The energy is different, but it is not weaker. If anything, it is sharper. The brilliance of this moment is how it avoids melodrama. There are no graphic details, no sensationalism. The focus stays where it belongs, on Becky's influence and the void she leaves behind. That restraint makes everything feel more real, more respectful, and more powerful. And let us be honest, this storyline works because Becky Lynch's legacy is believable. She earned it. You cannot fake that level of connection. You cannot manufacture that kind of respect. When Triple H speaks, it does. By the time the show reaches its final stretch, you realize something important. WWE has done what it rarely does best. It has trusted the audience, trusted them to feel, trusted them to remember, trusted them to understand that wrestling, at its core, is storytelling fueled by emotion. The final image of the night is simple. No explosions, no cliffhanger attack, just a quiet shot of the ring, empty, lights low, with Becky Lynch's name displayed on the screen. It is understated, and that is exactly why it works. Because legends do not need noise to be remembered. Thank you for watching.